Narottamam
Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nasta Praishva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki. Before reading this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, I would like to offer my respectful obeisances to Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayan, to Naranaran Rishi, the foremost of human beings, to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Vyasadeva, the author. By regularly reading from Srimad Bhagavatam and by serving the Holy Vaishnavas, almost everything what is troublesome in the heart will be gradually vanquished, and loving devotional service will become an irrevocable fact. Thank you very much for giving me this honor. I guess I will read in English. Everyone can understand English? Thank you for giving me this honor to read from Srimad Bhagavatam. And because you are more qualified than me, please give me your blessings so that I can do it for pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Guru Parampara. So we are reading the 9th canto, 6th chapter, and the chapter is called The Downfall of Shobhari Muni, and we will start from text 3. I will read the Sanskrit and the translation, so you don't need to repeat, and then we will come, because the purports are very short, then we will come to text number 7, and then we will sing the verse together. Ete kshetra prasutavai punaspam girasasmita ratitaranam pravara kshetrapeta vijataya. Translation by and prepared by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Having been born from the womb of Ratitar's wife, all these sons were known as the dynasty of Ratitar. But because they were born from the semen of Angira, they were also known as the dynasty of Angira. Among all the progeny of Ratitar, these sons were the most prominent, because, owing to their birth, they were considered Brahmanas. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the meaning of Dvijataya as mixed caste, indicating a mixture of Brahman and Kshatriya. Okay, just a short comment on this. In Vedic culture, in the Varnashram system, it was considered better to not mix the marriage of person from different groups, and if it was to be done, then the man should be from the higher, like man should be Brahmana and woman Kshatriya. Like this. Okay, text 4. Kshuvatas tu manoria gye ikshvakur grinata sutta tasya putra shata jesta vikukshini midandaka. Translation. The son of Manu was Ikshvaku. When Manu was sneezing, Ikshvaku was born from Manu's nostrils. King Ikshvaku had 100 sons, of whom Vikukshi, Nini, and Dandaka were the most prominent. Purport. According to Sridhar Swami, although the Bhagavatam has previously included Ikshvaku among the 10 sons begotten by Manu in his wife Shraddha, this was a generalization. It is here specifically explained that Ikshvaku was born simply from the sneezing of Manu. This is inconceivable, how somebody can be born from sneezing. Text 5. Tesham purastada bhavan aryavarte nripa nipa panchavinshatit paschascha trayomadye parenyata. Of the 100 sons, 25 became kings in the western side of Aryavarta, a place between the Himalaya and Vindhya mountains. Another 25 sons became kings in the east of Aryavarta, and the 3 principal sons became kings in the middle. The other sons became kings in various other places. Saikadashtaka shrathe ikshvaku sutamadishat mamsam aniyatam medyam vikukshe garchamachiram. During the months of January, February and March, oblations offered to the forefathers are called Ashtaka Shraddha. The Shraddha ceremony is held during the dark fortnight of the month. When Maharaj Ikshvaku was performing his oblations in this ceremony, he ordered his son Vikukshi to go immediately to the forest to bring some pure flesh. Tatketi savanam gatva.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Tatketi savanam gatva.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Tatketi savanam gatva.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Mrigan hatva kriyaratam.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Shanto bukshito vira.
Shanto bukshito vira.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shasham chada tapasmritihi.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Tateti savanam gadva.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Mriganadva kriyarehanan.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Shasham chadadapasmriti. Tateti savanam gadva.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Shasham chada tapasmriti.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Tateti savanam gatva.
Mriganatva kriyahanan.
Mrigan hatva kriyarhanan.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shanto bubukshito vira.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Shasham chadadapasmriti.
Okay. You want to read? Please repeat after me. Thereafter, vous parlez anglais?
A little bit.
If I speak English, you will understand? You can understand if I speak in...
Yes, I will try. There's no problem.
Okay. Thereafter,
Thereafter,
Ikshvaku son Vikukshi
Ikshvaku son Vikukshi
went to the forest
went to the forest
and killed many animals
many animals
suitable for being offered
suitable for being offered
as oblations.
as oblations.
But when fatigued and hungry, he became forgetful
he became forgetful
and ate a rabbit
and ate a rabbit
he had killed.
he had killed.
Report. It is evident that Kshatriyas killed animals in the forest because the flesh of the animals was suitable to be offered at a particular type of yagya. Offering oblations to the forefathers in the ceremony known as Shraddha is also a kind of yagya. In this yagya, flesh obtained from the forest by hunting could be offered. However, in the present age, Kali Yuga, this kind of offering is forbidden. Quoting from the Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Ashvamedam Gavala Bham Sanyasam Palapaitrikam Devarena Sutot Patim Kalo Pancha Vivajayet. In this age of Kali, 5 acts are forbidden. The offering of a horse in sacrifice, the offering of a cow in sacrifice, the acceptance of the order of sannyas, the offering of oblations of flesh to the forefathers, and the man's begetting children in his brother's wife. The words palapaitrikam refers to an offering of flesh in oblations to forefathers. Formerly, such an offering was allowed, but in this age it is forbidden. In this age, Kali Yuga, everyone is expert in hunting animals, but most of the people are Shudras, not Kshatriyas. According to Vedic injunctions, however, only Kshatriyas are allowed to hunt, whereas Shudras are allowed to eat flesh after offering goats or other insignificant animals before the deity of goddess Kali or similar demigods. On the whole, meat eating is not completely forbidden. A particular class of men is allowed to eat meat according to various circumstances and injunctions. As far as eating beef is concerned, however, it is strictly prohibited to everyone. Thus, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna personally speaks of Go Raksham, cow protection. Meat eaters, according to their different positions and the directions of the Shastra, are allowed to eat flesh, but never the flesh of cows. Cows must be given all protection. Once again the verse. Thereafter, Ikshvaku son Vikukshi went to the forest and killed many animals suitable for being offered as oblations. But when fatigued and hungry, he became forgetful and ate a rabbit he had killed. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyana Gyana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shatarine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evascha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishvanebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Ganadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yesterday I was watching the video of Mukunda Dat Prabhu on his lecture on this verse, and I would like to use some points that he was talking about, and he was using the word utilitarian, so the title of today's class is Aryan or Utilitarian. And so we have here the story of the son of the Ikshvaku Maharaj, who was performing the oblations in the ceremony of Shraddha, Ashtaka Shraddha, which is, as Prabhupada says, the offering oblations to the forefathers in the ceremony known as Shraddha is also kind of a yagya. In this yagya, flesh obtained from the forest by hunting could be offered. However, in the present age, Kali Yuga, this kind of offering is forbidden. So, Ikshvaku was preparing for this yagya, for this sacrifice, and he sent his son Vikukshi to go to the forest and to kill many animals that are suitable for this offering, this yagya. And then Vikukshi, his son, he went and he killed, but he became tired and hungry, and he became forgetful and ate a rabbit that he had killed. So we will see later, we had this in a chapter summary, but what happened later? That he, because of this, eating this rabbit, he gave back the flesh of all these animals and the rabbit, but the priest, he noticed that the offering is not pure, that he already ate. He could see that, and in this way this flesh could not be used for the sacrifice. So he told this to his father, and he became very angry at him, and he banished him from the kingdom. And then later Maharaj Ikshvaku attained liberation by mystic yoga after giving the body, and then his son Vikukshi returned and took charge of the kingdom and performed various sacrifices, and he pleased Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, and then Vikukshi later became celebrated as Shashada. Do you know what is Shashada? Shasha is rabbit in Sanskrit, and Ada is the one who eats. So Shashada is one who eats rabbits. So, but he first was banished from the kingdom because of breaking these rules. So does somebody know why was that such an offense to eat the rabbit when you are tired?
Sorry, what was the question?
Why was it such a great offense that he was banished from the kingdom just because eating a rabbit when he was tired?
He broke one of the regulative principles.
Yeah, but he was not, because... No, okay, yeah, he was this.
No, I'm sorry, it's for a Kshatriya it's allowed.
Well, Prabhupada says here that in Kali Yuga everyone is expert in hunting animals, but most of the people are Shudras, not Kshatriyas. According to Vedic injunctions, only Kshatriyas are allowed to hunt, whereas Shudras are allowed to eat flesh after offering goats or other insignificant animals before the deity. So Kshatriyas were allowed to hunt animals because they would train themselves. They would train themselves for the war and for governing, and the kings themselves would deal, like when Maharaj Parikshit was traveling around and saw this man killing a cow, and then he immediately took out the sword and he wanted to kill him. So this was the way the Kshatriyas, the kings would deal. They would themselves act to correct the injustice, and they would fight. So they would train themselves by going hunting and killing animals. So he was allowed to hunt, but he was sent by his father to do a task, a mission, to go and hunt animals and bring them for the ceremony. He didn't go just to have fun shooting rabbits and feasting. He was sent with a mission. So he didn't succeed, and that's why his father was angry and banished him. So it was a serious thing at that time. So one point we see here the importance of following the instructions of our superiors, and we have to consider here that he was Shranta. So although he was a Veera, he was a hero. He was a great king and he was a hero. He was strong, but he became Shranta. He became fatigued, tired. So this is why he ate this rabbit. He broke this principle and he ate the rabbit. So he fell down in this way, and we can take it as an example that we also fall down. We go on our spiritual path, we take vows, but we make mistakes, we fall down, and Prabhupada said the failures are pillars to success. So we need to learn from our mistakes, and it is like they say, it is not important, it doesn't matter if you fall down, it matters if you don't get up. So this is one important thing which we need to repeat to ourselves. I can say from my experience that when I got first initiation, I felt great enthusiasm, great excitation, and I was chanting very fired up and with great speed, and it was very nice, tasty to chant like this. I felt energy. But then second day after the initiation, I was doing other things, other services, and I left some rounds for the evening because it was going so easily, my chanting, and no problem, I will chant it till the end. And then one devotee came and said, "Hey, Nitai, Charan, we have some sweet rice from the initiation and it needs to be eaten and come take. And I said, yeah, but it's okay, I will take some. And then I took, and it was like not like this liquid sweet rice, but more like rice with sugar and like hard. And I ate, and he said, okay, but we need to use it because it will be too wasted tomorrow. So take more. Okay, let's feast some. And then I took, and then it was so much. I took so much of this sweet rice, and I started to chant. And I woke up next day, and I didn't chant 4 rounds. I broke my vow. Second day after initiation. So and I was so angry and sad at the same time. And I was so depressed that I didn't want to chant anymore. So what happened later is that I become sad of this downfall, and then also this was the start of my fall, and then in the next period I was also not appreciating very much the conditions, the association of devotees, and I was finding faults in others, and I was living in the temple mostly alone, and I was thinking, oh, why I don't have more association, it is also a fault of my superiors. So, and I was neglecting my chanting. I was chanting inattentively, and I started to not chant my rounds till the end, and I was writing them down and saying, okay, I will chant later, and gathering more and more, and it became more and more painful because I was losing taste, and I was feeling that I was doing a bad thing, and I was feeling that nothing was happening in the chanting. I felt that my spiritual life is not good. So, and then I in a class on a Sunday program, I told that in public and apologized, and I saw devotees when I said that I broke this vow. They were, what? But they forgave me and they gave their blessings, and I could then start to make up these rounds which I failed to chant. So this is the point that we. Another thing that I did the mistake was that I misunderstood the philosophy, which is the acharyas, we have the songs in which they sing, "Oh Krishna, I'm the most fallen one, and please lift me up from where I fell." So I was chanting, "Oh, I'm so fallen, Krishna. Oh, I'm so bad. I." So this is egocentrism, to say, I am the most, I am so much. This is again the wish to get attention, to make to put ourselves in the center. So this we need to understand. We say, I am the fallen, but Krishna is so great, and Krishna and spiritual master, they are so powerful that they lift us up. And the service, we are doing progress by doing service to devotees, and this service has to be without considering our personal gain. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, just to Arjuna, just fight for the sake of fighting, not considering victory or loss, victory or defeat, loss or gain. So, if we do our services thinking that I will get some gain from this is called utilitarian. We want some gain for ourselves. And opposite is the Aryan. Aryan is person who is dedicating his life to spiritual path and serving the whole society. So, do you want to be Aryan or utilitarian? So, we see that this is Ikshvaku, who got Bhagavad Gita from Manu, and those are the Ikshvaku and his son Vikukshi or Shashada, who are great kings, who are personalities beyond our ability to understand. But even he can slip out, can fall. So we can also understand that we are in Kali Yuga, but Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that even if one does the most abominable activity, the most terrible thing, if he later continues and he continues to live saintly life, he should be understood just as a saint. Like he is complete saint. He did all these bad things, but he is continuing. So Krishna is forgiving. So this is one of the qualities of Krishna, that he is forgiving. We should not take advantage of it, but we can use our mistakes to like pillars to success. So how do we do it? Anyone has a suggestion how to use the mistakes as the pillars of success?
Should not be repeated. It should not be repeated.
No, should not be defeated. Yeah.
No, repeat it.
Repeated. Repeated. Yeah.
Once is there, no more.
Yeah. Exactly. So this Sachinandan Swami is writing that we can use them to say, Krishna, please, I'm so fallen, but I need your mercy. I need the mercy of God, because we can take them as a sign, as a lesson that we are not the controller. We are not Krishna. We are not big. We need to pray to Krishna in every thing we do, to remember Krishna, to pray for him to help us, and then do what we can do. Otherwise, we are cheaters. We just pray, but we do again the mistake. Yeah. So that's it, and yeah, the point is here. Everybody's calculating how to exploit others in material world, but devotees are wanting to serve the others. So this is so precious for us to be here in this association, because we can, by association, I'm speaking to myself, by your association I can learn to develop these qualities, to be humble, to serve others. So this is so different from outside, where everyone is trying to exploit others, to make himself great. But the devotee is just happy to serve the other devotees. So another thing here is that we have this Shraddha ceremony, and this is the oblation to the forefathers. So, who of you have performed Shraddha ceremony for your forefathers? Did somebody do? So why not? This is the injunction of the Vedas to do the Shraddha. These ceremonies are done for the forefathers so that the soul can be liberated, and especially in the cases when one either commits suicide or leaves the body in inauspicious circumstances, like an accident or is killed. So in this case, it is important that the children, the son, does the Shraddha ceremony for their parent. Otherwise, they may get the body of Bhuta, a ghost. So hope that you are planning to have good sons, so that they can make Shraddha for you, and you will not take a body of a ghost, being 1,000 years without a material body. So, do we need to do Shraddha? Who can say?
Shraddha is the yajna? Is that so?
This, sacrifice for the forefathers.
We don't need to do it. We don't need to do it.
Mm-hmm. Why not? It is the Vedic injunction.
Prabhupada is saying if your kids are devotees, they liberate 7 generations.
Mm.
You just have to do Garvardhan Samskar like we did yesterday. Then you liberate 7 generations. Yeah, devotee kids.
If we become a devotee, then we are liberating 7 generations, before and after. Yes. And in Bhagavad Gita, 3rd chapter, Krishna says, regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendence is eternally situated in acts of sacrifice. My dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, thus established by the Vedas, certainly leads a life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such a person lives in vain. But for one who takes pleasure in the self, whose human life is one of self-realization, and who is satisfied in the self only, fully satiated, for him there is no duty. So in the one way we have this injunction to do the sacrifices, and also there is no duty if we are completely devoted to Krishna. And we have a text from Srimad Bhagavatam where Shukracharya is asking Lord Vishnu, after this whole story with Bali Maharaj, where was the fault in Bali Maharaj, who was performing yagya, that he was sent to hell. And Vishnu replies, there may be discrepancies in pronouncing the mantras and observing the regulative principles, and moreover, There may be discrepancies in regard to time, place, person and paraphernalia, but when your Lordship's holy name, this is Shukracharya, but when your Lordship's holy name is chanted, everything becomes faultless. And then Prabhupada is explaining in the purport that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalo nasti eva nasti eva nasti eva gatir anyata. So, and he's saying in this age of Kali it is extremely difficult to perform Vedic ritualistic ceremonies or sacrifices perfectly. Hardly anyone can chant the Vedic mantras with perfect pronunciation or accumulate the paraphernalia for Vedic performances. Therefore, the sacrifice recommended in this age is Sankirtan, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Instead of wasting time performing Vedic sacrifices, those who are intelligent, those who possess good brain substance should take to the chanting of the Lord's holy name and thus perform sacrifice perfectly. So, I was speaking with His Grace Paramgati Prabhu about this today and asking, do we need to do Shraddha or not? So he explained me that we can do it. It's nice if we do it. It is samskara. It is samskaras are the ceremonies which in Vedic culture are done to purify ourselves and so that we can then come to pure devotional service, because we are still we may have came to chant the holy name, but we have still we led sinful lives, and I myself was eating animals, meat, and my mother, she came to spiritual life, and she wanted to introduce vegetarianism, and she said, now we will cook only vegetarian food from today. And I said, no, I want to eat meat, I need meat. So, and then I was rebelling, and she had to at the end accept and cook meat for me, sorry for that. But now we are chanting, but we have still the results of our sinful lives, and results is our mind. Our mind is polluted, our mind is not pure. So the samskaras are purifying the subtle body, and so they can be done, but they are not obligatory, they are not mandatory. We can just how do we say? I forgot exactly what we said, but the point is that if we become servants of Krishna's devotees, and we just sing the holy name, which is the prescribed yagya for this age, Sankirtan, Golokera Premadan, Harinam Sankirtan. So we sing this together, and this is the perfect yagya. Do you have any comments or questions?
Well, I read that every yaga is to bring the yaga they are put in place ultimately to make someone Krishna conscious. So if you chant and you serve in Krishna consciousness, this is the highest highest thing you can do. Because
Mhm.
yagyas, if you are not Krishna conscious, ultimately they will bring you to Krishna consciousness. If you practice yaga. For example, like Kami, right? Kami, I don't know what they call people who practice Kami. Is that how we call people? Some people they are called Kami. Yes, it's like Kami ultimately. Because Kami, I don't know this. I don't know Kami. They are not considered Krishna conscious.
Yeah, so karma kanda is the part of the Vedas which is instructing how to by doing sacrifices we are getting some benefit by offering sacrifices, and the sacrifices can be offered to demigods or to Supreme Lord. So the devotees of Krishna, we are not utilitarians. We are not doing the yagya for our benefit, for our to get a higher position in the material world, because there is no position in material world. Every position we have, we will have to leave when we leave the body. And but still, for the persons who are who want to gain some material benefit, there is Vedas are giving them chance through doing the yagyas and karma kanda to do material activities and to offer the results to demigods or to Krishna. And please correct me if I said anything wrong. Or Mataji, Krishna Charan Arvinda, is there something to be added on this, or is this correct as I said it about the karma kanda?
Yes, I was thinking to a verse in Bhagavad Gita, c'est Vedeshu, Yageshu, tu sais ce verset, Vedeshu, Yageshu, Yageshu, everything who is in the karma kanda, in the tapasya, austerity, you get all the result by doing devotional service. So that verse says that, and this way is Krishna will say me. So if we have all the result by doing devotional service, so we no need to do Shraddha to do. But if we are in another level, if we think it's very important, I remember when Srila Prabhupada had disciples, Indian disciples, for them it was really mandatory to do Shraddha. The family could not understand, but no, by devotional service, Srila Prabhupada explained we no need to do. But for the family, for what we can do, sometimes they are obliged to do it.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a nice point. So, the Bhakti is a mother who has two sons. One is Gyan, knowledge, and vairagya, renunciation. So when we get bhakti, we automatically will get knowledge and renunciation, and so we that's why I'm very thankful to be with you, that I can learn about the love of God from you, about bhakti, and please forgive me my offenses. And I want to say just that if we just take this humble attitude, that to give up egocentrism or thinking that I'm right, it is this is what we need to accept, that this is my mistake, it's my I caused to be here. One devotee gave an example. She and her husband has bought how do you call it, holiday house, and they dig the hole for the, how do you call, for, you know, huh? It is there also this big container for the excrements when you go to toilet, and then it all goes to septic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So she was saying they bought a new, this big container like we have behind guest house for the septic. So you put this plastic container inside, and then it goes inside the excrements. And she was saying that they did it, they put it inside, and she used it 1 or 2 times, and then they understood that this container that they bought was a bit smaller dimension than the hole that was dug. So actually it was the wrong one. So she wanted to exchange from the shop, and but she used it already, so she had to go inside and clean it from her own excrements. And she was saying it was terrible because it was smelling, but she just used it 1 or 2 times, so she would waste money just to buy a new one. So she cleaned it all by herself, and but she realized I was cleaning my own excrements. So sorry for this example.
Yeah, it's not so ecstatic.
But I just want to make the point that we are here because our own actions, and this is the basic what I'm learning to apply, that to accept the correction, to say yes, I can be wrong, I'm not the controller, I'm not the and from that point, when I do this, the Krishna consciousness becomes beautiful, and I get so much inspired, and I take so much pleasure in. I got so much nice services, and I got to travel all around world, all around Europe, and to witness people having so much joy from contacting Krishna, to take the books, to dance in Harinam. So thank you very much. Sorry if I took too much time, and thank you for this honor. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Imamo nadržati malo poslije ako želiš. Može?
Il explique Mukundadat.
Mukundadat.
Mukundadat, c'est Mukundadat de Vrindavan.
Alors, il était à quelques temples
Est-ce qu'il explique pourquoi offrir un lapin, c'est une offrande? En quoi c'est bien? Il en parle de ça, non?
De cette chale-là.
Dans la culture védique, pourquoi offrir de la chair animale, c'est considéré comme sacré?
Oui.
Il explique? Je sais qu'il connaît pas mal de choses. Non.
Non, pas beaucoup.
D'accord. Je suis trompé dans l'ordre. Jagannath, il est là.
Oui, c'est pas moi, mais oui. Est-ce que c'était trop long, la classe?